Woo! Ah!
Woo.
Ooh, that was a
Yay.
nice woo. That was a
The
sultry
sensual woo.
woo. Yeah, it was. Oh, welcome to the pod, Burke MF May. What's up, Niners
We're
insider and
going.
expert?
Glad to be
Golly,
here.
Yes,
dude, glad to
sir.
have you here. I mean, this has been a long time coming, and what better time than NFC West champs? Tell me how you feel as a Niners fan right now.
Feeling pretty good. A little shaken after last week, but you need one of those in a big run like we're going on now. So
Agree fully.
feeling good about it.
Hell yeah, dude, that's tight. So fellas, what's a game that stuck out to you this week?
Burke,
Or
why
this
don't you go
past week?
first?
Well, I'd say not to beat
Do it.
my own,
Do
toot my
it.
own horn here.
Do
the
it.
the Niners and
Just partially
Raiders.
biased. You're allowed to do that.
Jared
Jared Stidham
looking
getting
at
you a
this,
little clinchy in your butthole
you know,
area.
when you're going on a 9-game win streak,
Yep.
if you crush every team until you see some pushbacks, a little bit of back and forth. What it showed us here is that the Niners game is they can win a shootout.
This
That's
is true.
good.
If the defense sucked or isn't playing well,
Yeah.
they're still in it. They're not just gonna lose like they did in prior years when that happened.
Agreed.
Mhm.
So, well, BCB is the truth.
Yes, Brock.
Undefeated.
They're
Good.
He's a beast. Everyone's scratching their head missing that pick.
So do you don't like miss Jimmy Garoppolo at all? This is all just big cock Brock season.
So, I mean, for the last couple of years, the Niners have been, it's 1 year they're horrible injuries and horrible,
Mhm.
but it's always next man up. I know it usually is in the NFL, but there was the running backs before where it was undrafted free agent after undrafted free agent balling out and it's just
Mhm.
hot hand. So it's kind of how it's going now. With what it feels like, I feel bad for Jimmy. He deserves a lot. He took us really far, but if BCB wants to keep it going, he should.
Yes.
I mean, perfect situation for y'all. I mean, because Jimmy was on a franchise anyway. Feel bad for him because he had a ton of incentives on this year, and he was playing well. He was hitting those incentives at least from a winning perspective. And then to go down like that, it sucks because this is a guy who kind of bet on himself, but kind of like how we say is next man up. And I think that speaks a lot to the Niners organization and Shanahan as a head coach of even this guy who quote unquote is Mr. Irrelevant, rookie in the league can step up and still churn out some offensive production. It is awesome to see. A lot of teams are jealous of that, I'm sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've all seen how bringing in a rookie does. Apparently, it's happened a couple times since the Raiders did the same, shaking out a rookie. But
Yes.
they're your second string, third string quarterback. Sometimes it just completely ruins your chances at a season. Sometimes, like the Eagles, for example. Now,
It's a great call.
they're just crashing and burning without Jalen Hurts. And people are saying, oh, it's the defense, it's the offense, like offensive players. It's not him. It seems like him. He plays, they have a way better chance.
I don't know how Philly lost that game, dude. Like New Orleans has nothing to play for except spoiler to everybody else's playoff hopes. And I guess, Dallas getting an easy win on the road with Tennessee. I mean, I expected that game to be much higher, but Dak is still showing a level of mediocrity. And I know the first interception was tipped on that Thursday night game, but I don't know, man. I feel like if you're a team vying for the first spot in the playoffs, like the first round bye, you got to show something better than that, man. 2 picks against a team that was all but resting their best players that game.
I guess, which is weird because the Titans aren't starting Tannehill this week either,
Yeah.
or their
Joshua
rookie.
Dobbs,
It's
dude.
Josh Dobbs. That's weird. I want to be a fly on the wall with that organization because I'm like, is Vrabel out and he's just setting fire on the way out,
Fuck you, Willis.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Jeez.
you know what? All you gave me was Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, and you traded away AJ Brown.
Dude,
How am I supposed to win a damn game?
I think during that Philly game with Philly and Tennessee, the Philly fans turned around and just flicked off the Tennessee GM and was just like, "Thank you."
I was appreciate it, you idiot.
My
Dude,
gosh.
but we'll see what happens there. Aaron, anything stick out to you?
Oh, dude. New England showing up where they needed to, man. Just squishing the fish. Just
Dude, we love some squish fish this time of
I
year.
just like that. Yeah, that was something nice, obviously, because as a Steeler fan, we're watching particular teams here to get our playoff hopes in Steeler fashion, just late, but
Mhm.
we're good. And then like on that subject, Seattle beating New York Jets, like. I'm pretty sure everyone else thought Mike White was going to rock the Seattle Seahawks, and then Geno came out of nowhere.
I didn't think it was going to be, he was going to rock them, but I just thought it was going to be close, and it just wasn't. And it was like, wow, the Seattle team, like they kind of woke up and like they were ready to play a meaningful game. And, I feel like a sucker. I feel like I don't know how much of the public was probably on the Jets for this, but I feel it was pretty hard. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like I should have faded because this wasn't even a close game. Not even close.
No.
Well,
Stinks.
I mean, it's been a weird season for a lot of teams, especially the Seahawks. I'm not a fan of the Seahawks, but
Sea
Geno
chickens.
Smith, just the comeback season is, if he's not the comeback player of the year, I don't know who is, right? I mean, just coming in and taking a team, and if he continued playing the way he was, he not fell off, but he peeled it back a little bit. He could even be on the running for an MVP slot if they made the
Ooh,
playoffs,
that's
right?
a bold take, dude.
If they
Nah,
make a run, yeah, sure.
if they
why
made a
not?
run, yeah. But
Oh
I mean,
yeah, if they made a run, yeah.
and they still could. They're in the running, right?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
have to have certain, like I think Green Bay has to lose.
Mhm.
please.
I think in
I
Detroit as
don't,
well,
Detroit, yep. So
but
it's
they're
it's
all vying for
possible.
wild cards.
and I'm a little biased there. Detroit. I mean, Packers should make the playoffs because who's their daddy.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is true. Oh my gosh, that was a great
Uh,
game last year. That was a good upset one. Let's see what stuck out for me. I'm gonna go ahead. What was I gonna say? Speaking of the Packers, I think that was what really stuck out to me because
oh
I
yeah,
really thought that line was crazy. It definitely shook me out for one because I saw Vikings +3. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Vikings have such a better record. They beat them way on earlier in the season. Kirk Cousins, tons of like say what you want about him. He's had a ton of fourth quarter wins this season, and I thought like, dang, this will at least be close. Nope. Packers came to play. Everyone
dude.
balled out. Dude, Justin Jefferson, what, no catches that game?
Like I think maybe one.
Yeah,
Like I
it
don't
was
know.
insane. I was like, how you do that to we're talking about the MVP. People have Justin Jefferson in the MVP conversation, the wide receiver, which is crazy. So seeing the Packers do that, it almost made me like reinvigorate this soft spot for Aaron Rodgers that I haven't had in a while. Dude looked like he wanted to be there and wanted to play ball, and it was fun to see.
He
So,
doesn't hate to lose. I remember those words, man.
dude, he doesn't, but now it's like it was like a hair of like I think he's almost not been so spoiled, but like he hasn't missed the playoffs in so long, or he hasn't been the king of the NFC North in so long. Like he's gotten used to it, and now he kind of had like this wake up panic moment of like, oh shit, I'm not top dog anymore, and like I've told everyone I can still ball, and like I better ball out, like, and so he's trying to get that done any which way that he can. But so that's all I got for recap, fellas. Unless y'all got anything else to add to the table.
No.
I think I'm good.
Let's get it started with some picks. And this is
Partially
biased.
biased.
The bias show. Wait, the show with biased picks from biased fans. Partially, just a little bit. Always a little partially biased, and we own up to it. Let's get it started. Some more Saturday ball. I like Saturday games. Y'all like Saturday games?
Yeah.
I do, especially when college ball is done.
True.
Great take. That's a great point. I forgot about that. Especially with bowl season done and everything almost. For sure. Let's see. We got Chiefs and we got Raiders here. Let's go to our guest of the week on this one. Who you got in this one, Burk?
Well, you see, I mean, it's both ends of the NFL. The number one seed's up for grabs. It's got to be the Chiefs this week. I mean, the Raiders played a good game last week, but I don't think Mahomes is going to let the one seed slip away and lose into the Raiders, right? So I just have them. I don't know line wise, but I definitely have the Chiefs.
So it's Chiefs by 7.
Really?
Over under is 52.
Dang. Okay.
It's actually 9.5. Pardon me.
Yeah, I'm about to say the ESPN says 9.5.
Yeah.
Which All right, cool beans. Aaron, who you got?
I gotta follow suit here. KC's been very consistent, and like unless KC feels the need to rest their players, which I don't think so, since even with what happened last week, it kind of leaves the first seed up for grabs still. So yeah, I think KC's got something to play for there, and Las Vegas is on their last leg.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jared Stidham can
Mm-hmm.
can hang. So yeah.
Okay, very cool. And just to kind of elaborate for the folks at home who may not be aware to what Aaron was referring to with the situation that happened this past Monday with Buffalo and Cincinnati, and we can get into that later when we get to those games. It's just that with the current playoff seeding, in theory, with playoff scenarios, if that were to be a tie, KC would automatically jump to the 1 seed. And then I think Cincinnati, I think they would have a weird situation for them to potentially get their division, and Bills would either be the 2 or the 3 seed. I mean, because they just have their division already locked up as is. So there is something huge here for Kansas City, because I mean, we're kind of in this weird gray area where, in theory, they should have known by now whether they were going to have the 1 seed or not.
Yeah.
That being said, I agree with you. I'm on the Chiefs here too. They have too much to play for. I am interested in taking the Raiders on this spread, though, to cover. 9.5 is a big number. Raiders played well against a good San Francisco team. Devontae Adams had a ton of life to him. This Chiefs team lets up a lot of points, and not only that, this Raiders team, I think they played them pretty tight at the start of the year. So I don't know, if they could get an upset here as a Bills fan, I would love that. So
Bias.
that's where I am with that. Bias, dude. Moving on to a crazy game. I'm actually really excited for this game. I've been kind of hyping it up for the last few weeks. AFC South divisional matchup for the division. Who wins it? Titans, Jags in Jacksonville. Duval. Aaron, who you got in this?
Dude, it's gotta be Jacksonville, man. They've been the Cinderella story since week 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they started playing good ball again. Tennessee is starting Joshua Dobbs again. I mean, Josh Dobbs, for what it's worth, played okay, but
Yeah.
still no Derrick Henry. Tennessee's defense is awful. It's got to be Jacksonville. Probably in a rout, actually, if I have to be.
You think in a rout? That's a
In a
bold
rout.
statement. Dang. All right, Burke, who are you taking in this?
I think I gotta get on the bandwagon. The Jaguars as well. I mean, they're on a four game winning streak now, or something like that. And I mean, it's not a winning streak; it's a rout streak, like Aaron said. I mean, they've won by two digits the last 2 games, I think, and then pretty handily in the other 2 he's played. So, I mean, they're a hot streak. I'm taking the hot hand. I'm going Jaguars.
Dude, I love that. So last week I had my slate of the year. It did okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. Just start the new year off right. We'll see. I'm on the Jags here. I totally agree with you. They've been red hot. I think this Titans team, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you're not starting your rookie quarterback that you drafted, or the guy who's taken you to playoffs so many times before. It just seems like you're giving up, and I don't know if I'm just totally taking the bait, but I'm going to take the Jags here. They beat them 4 weeks ago, kind of what Burke said, and the Jags are playing well. The Jags are playing, I think this is a really good comeback underdog story of just they were absolute garbage last year. Is Trevor Lawrence a bust because he was the first overall pick? And they've been looking good. Also, my girlfriend has some roots to the Duval area. When I was visiting her family, that's all they were talking about. They were like, we got to buy our playoff tickets. They were making jokes. They were like, if we get out the first round, we may have to drive up to Buffalo to, and I'm like, okay, sure. So I want to see it happen for them. I'm on the Jags here, and I'm going to take +6. I think they cover that, or they lay the points pretty easily with that one.
Yeah.
So bringing up here to a division that's a runaway, I'll be curious to see if this team rests people. We definitely are in that week where that is a factor for a number of games potentially, which kind of stinks in some ways. But NFC South matchup, Buccaneers, Falcons. I guess they are sitting players because Atlanta's favored in this one. Burke, who you got?
like you said, they're sitting players, and there's not much else they can do. Right, they have the player spot, and
Mhm.
I mean, I think you take the Falcons here. I mean, with, I mean, I don't know who they're sitting. Let's
Mhm.
Yeah,
see.
I was gonna say, is Brady sitting?
If Brady is sitting,
I would say so.
I would say Falcons because
Who who is
you
their number
know
two?
who does.
What do you mean for NFC South or their
No,
number two?
for Tampa Bay,
Oh
isn't it's
gosh, I wanted to say they had like they had someone very very random. Um,
The Blaine
he
Gabbert.
that's who it is. Blaine Gabbert. Yeah, Blaine Gabbert at quarterback.
Blaine Gabbert?
I know that's
Oh,
a name you haven't heard in forever and for
He's
good
still in the
reason.
league?
Yeah, dude,
he
he's
is
not a bad
still in the
backup.
league. Yeah,
All
one of those
right, all
backup
right.
quarterbacks that's been in there forever. He played on the Niners a couple years back.
It's true.
Jeez. That's yeah. Do you remember the times? I'll jump in. I
Yeah.
think it's I don't know, because Atlanta's had a couple of times to like send a message to other teams to be like, all right, we're still trying to play for paychecks. You know,
Yeah.
we're still trying to get like some trade value for some players. And I actually heard or saw a report that Mariota gave up on the Atlanta Falcons after he got benched for a
Yeah.
rookie, which okay, I get it. You know, like oh, this was my team, even though you didn't really play all that well. Um, and for what it's worth, I think Desmond Ritter has played okay.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess if Tampa Bay's sitting people, I think I'll follow suit. I think Atlanta will take this because it's a gimme game here. I feel like like could probably go either way, but yeah, I don't know.
No, definitely their game to lose. I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm kind of I'm weird. I'm actually kind of big on the NFC South. I think a lot of these teams aren't that bad. It's just very streaky, like different lacking consistency. But I think all these teams, like maybe except the Saints, like none of them have really gotten blown out, or if so, not a lot. Like they're not awful. They're bad, but they're not absolutely terrible. Like this Falcons team was competitive the whole way. Carolina was competitive the whole way. I don't want to say Bucks got lucky, but I think they just won more of the division games, and that's how they ended up clinching this. But that being said, I'm on Atlanta. I'm tempted to take the spread because they are cover kids. They did cover last week, and they do cover well. But them as a favorite, I don't know. So I'll stay away from it, but I'm definitely taking ATL here.
All right.
Ah, so
I
we
think Sean.
are.
I think it's the next one is your game, right? You start that one off.
It is, yeah, man. So my game of the week, Bills Pats. A rivalry as old as time. Boston and the great city of Buffalo. Buffalo favored by 7.5. It really should be more by how much we beat them in the playoffs last year. But that was last year. I'm taking the Bills for so many reasons. Bills at home, great home team.
Hmm.
This Pats team has some fight in them, but we had their number earlier in the season on the road, so I really have no issue with that. Um, and I don't know. I think they'll be playing for something more. I know it's a weird spot with the team and everything that happened to Tamara Hamlin, and thoughts and prayers to him and his family and his loved ones, and just seeing how the community and almost like shockingly, the entire country has rallied around him
Hmm.
is just insane. Like I kind of had a moment with Morgan when I was telling her, I was like, I think this is a good example about how football unites and not necessarily how it divides us, you know? So yeah, I think they're gonna be playing for DeMar, even though like stuff is weird, but I think they'll rally around this and just get an easy dub, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I agree. I'm going Buffalo for, two reasons. One, because I think after something like this happens, something this polarizing and, you know, just such a rare thing to happen to a player where that much, you know, that much care has to come into like, handling the player on the field
Hmm.
and all of that. And like, thankfully, there were health professionals down there at the time, but
Yeah.
I think they're going to be playing for that. If the Buffalo Bills don't blow out the New England Patriots because they want to set a tone for what would have happened on Monday, then I don't know what else. And then also, I need them to beat the absolute shit out of the Patriots for the Steelers playoff hopes.
Oh, I knew there was some partially biased element there. I
Ah,
knew it.
so
I knew it.
And 7.5, I like that number. I do. It's
Yeah.
it's like, they could win by, like touchdown in a couple change. I like it.
Mhm.
I like it.
And then I think I gotta go with the Bills as well.
Mhm.
I think they come back from that horrible event strong, rally around their guy, the community. I think there's going to be more than just Bills fans rooting for the Bills this week. I mean, and the first seed is up for grabs, right? Depending on how that game goes. So
Yeah.
I
We gotta win.
can't see the Patriots coming off out of that. Really, I mean, and I'd probably say they'd cover as well, at least.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I agree. Just one last thing. I mean, it is interesting when we talk about teams resting players. There was, people looking in the future before everything that happened when we thought it was just going to be a normal game, Buffalo and Cincinnati, that potentially Buffalo would be resting starters if they had lost that game because it was just like, well, we're not playing for the 1 seed anymore. We'll rest up. Can't change it anymore. So it's kind of, if you're a Patriots fan, it was bad for you as well because now Buffalo's not resting and you need to win this game to go in. So I would love to see the Patriots miss the playoffs too. That'd be sick. So and God willing, DeMar Hamlin will be awake and be able to watch the game or send some good vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on to a NFC matchup here. Surprisingly, no starters sitting out, at least that I know of. Vikings Bears for the NFC North with the Eagles dropping that game. I think the Vikings are still in play for the 1 seed. I could be wrong. Question mark, upward inflection. Yeah, because Philly's 13-3. And Minnesota.
I think Philly has a tiebreaker on the Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting with that.
Because I think it's Cowboys, Niners, and Philly in it for this first seed, I think.
Very, very interesting. Love to see it. But yeah, Aaron, who you got in this? Do the Vikings shit the bed again, or
dude? I mean,
Justin Fields go off for 200 yards of rushing on him? I don't know. Oh wait, Nathan Peterman starting. That's right.
Oh, dude.
Peterman
skull. Peterman can.
Whatever. I want to know what the line is on this over under for interceptions. It's got to be at like 3. At least 2.5. Like
that's awful.
Last time he played wasn't like 4.
No, he played for the Raiders one game when John
Gruden,
yeah, when John Gruden was there, and I don't think he threw 3 picks, but it was probably something just as bad. So
well, he got relief time when we played them like 2 weeks ago, and he had like 3 completions and they're like really good for like a good chunk of yardage, and then like pick that where absolutely no one else was there. So that's what you get on the Peterman roller coaster,
Poor guy.
I'm here for it. Hey, he's still getting a check, man. I don't know how.
That's true, dude. Who did he surprise in the NFL, or whose neck does he have in a death grip right now? It's just like, sign me.
No, at least with like Gruden, he kind of checked off these boxes. He's like, oh, that kind of scrappy white guy. I like that.
He also had Glennon on that team, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Mike.
The neck.
Mike got signed to the Miami Dolphins this week too. Actually,
yes,
surprisingly.
He did.
So
yes, he did.
The neck. But
who you got,
Aaron, who
Burk?
you going with? Oh, you said Skull.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Okay, cool.
Landslide. I don't know. I don't know what Chicago can do. I mean, if they're just gonna sit players because it's probably not worth it, then so be it.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to go Vikings as well.
We're 5 for 5.
I sit here and I look at this Bears team, and they look like a college team at best. Other than the one time that Fields, had that game where he, ran all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot believe the Niners lost to them at the end of the season. I know it was monsoony at the time, but
yeah,
the Vikings aren't going to drop 2 after getting dumpstered by the Packers last week. I mean, I can't see it with the playoffs being the way they are.
For that first Bears matchup, you also had the bust Trey Lance in and not Big Cock Brock. So
whoa. You can't be doing that.
Polarizing take. I'm
Come
sorry.
on, dude.
All
He
right.
doesn't even have an ankle to stand on to defend
Oh,
himself. That's just so rude, Aaron. That's just so effing rude. Come on.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
about to check out the live. Let's see if we can look at what the heck. Oh, no, they haven't come out with quarterback props for this game yet.
Yeah,
Oh
I looked.
no! Darn
It's
it!
not on there.
Dude, I want it so bad. Let me bet I'm betting. I'm taking his over for INTs. I don't care what it is,
Same.
as long as it's not like 4.5. I'm taking it. It's definitely Minnesota here. They still have something to play for, I guess, with NFC seeding. And the Bears, almost good for them. I think you realize that Justin Fields is a guy that you can build around, at least be competitive with. So, yeah, just send him out, get a good draft pick. They have a ton of free agency cap space, so just ride with that. But yeah, it's all Skull Nation for here. Aaron, moving on to a game with a ton of implications for you. Well, more or less. Ravens, Bengals. Since they were -7.
So here's a polarizing question: is this the last game we'll see Lamar Jackson as a Raven?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I think that's the biggest off-season question, and if you're a Ravens fan, I think that's definitely on the forefront of your mind instead of playoffs or Super Bowl, especially the last like 6 weeks this team has played. But yeah, because I mean, they could franchise tag him, and I mean, but he could also just Deshaun Watson it and sit out. I mean, before all this stuff. But then there's rumors of like a team like the New York Jets or the Giants who would just shell out a ton of cash and just do it. So I don't know.
But yeah,
I think there's a good chance. I think there's a good chance.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think a lot of Ravens fans are just now coming to terms with that. And you and I have spoken in long detail about it, but unless you're going to pay the man what he wants, which is more than the $45 million a year that they offered him prior,
yep,
I don't know where you're going to get the money to sign, good wide receivers or whatever comes up as the excuse as to why he's not an elite quarterback and he's just a great quarterback, and to that point, I think it's Cincy. Baltimore's defense got gashed against the Pittsburgh Steelers run game.
Yeah, they did.
And Najee had his first 100-yard game of the season. I know, not that great, but for us, that's an achievement. All right, this season, especially
when
with
it
the play
mattered,
calling,
when it counted. Shout out Matt Canada, but not in a good way. Or shoot out Matt Canada. No,
you stop it. You stop it. I think there was one play where Kenny Pickett faked being like, "What? I can't hear you. All right, I'm just gonna call a play." You know, it's just I'd probably do that to Matt Canada too. But yeah, it's got to be Cincy, dude. It's got to be Cincy. Baltimore just doesn't have it. They've already locked up a playoff spot. I can't imagine that Baltimore would want to play any of their good players. I mean, yes, it's a division game, but the Steelers aren't close in division wins. So it's not like we're going to jump their spot. You know what I mean? So I think Cincy's got something to play for too, because I think they were about to be shot out of a cannon on Monday. I think that Bills and Cincinnati game, all, horrible injuries aside, I think that would have been a barn burner.
I think so too. It was shaping up to be game of the year
like Kansas City Rams back in 2018 or something like that,
dude, or even Kansas City Bills last year in the playoffs. That was the feeling it had the feeling of an epic playoff game of either of these teams could win,
right? So yeah, I think it's Cincy.
Burk.
I think it's Cincy as well. I think they have more to not to copy Aaron.
No, go ahead.
He just has such great knowledge. But I mean, a lot of points he made sense there. I mean, there's seeding implications for the Bengals. They're not really for the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson. And if he's back, he's the first time he's back. There might be some rust. You never know that.
Sure.
And it's not that he was playing out of his mind this season, anyways. So I mean, if he was playing top tier level, undefeated all the way up until he got injured, maybe. But if he comes back and plays the way he did, I don't see it. So Bengals, I think I don't know if I dig the spread there, but I'd at least say Bengals.
I mean, it's just really weird because I know the Bengals have been a wagon. I think they were on a 6-game win streak going into Monday. which I don't know how that affects things mentally. But they did lose to this Ravens team earlier this year in a close game, 17-19. So part of me is like, oh, are the Ravens their kryptonite? But then Lamar was playing then, and they've lost so many other people on defense, etc. So I think just without a doubt, I'm going to take Bengals. This is a partially biased pick. I think we can all agree as fans of football, the way that the Bengals organization, players, coaches, and fans reacted to what happened Monday night was nothing short of pure class
Hmm.
and just like a real moment of humanity and camaraderie that is more in the game. So I feel like Bills fans already have a special relationship with Cincinnati because them beating the Ravens 5 years ago is what
Yes.
broke our 20-year playoff drought and sent us to the playoffs. So,
I think it was
and
Tyler Boyd that scored that touchdown for you.
it was, and all they needed, I think, was a field goal to send it to overtime. And I was sitting there thinking, gosh, like fourth down, they just need to get in the field goal range, and hopefully it'll be a 50-50 shot. We make it. And then it was just, oh no, like he called game, like they called game, and
He
that
got
was,
it.
dude, that was the best. Like I don't know about y'all's New Year's Eve memories. Like I've had some great New Year's Eves. That was the best one because that was on New Year's Eve, and I remember just going out and going absolutely nuts and but like the most incredible stuff happened. Like I don't know, just like insane stuff that was like funny. And then the next morning I woke up and it was like, wow, I am still like borderline hammered drunk.
Yep. Riding that high, baby.
I was like, it is a miracle that I did not get sick at all. But
Oh,
yeah,
so
so
this
shout out
just
Bengals
in,
fans.
we just got Holden's picks.
No way, Jose.
So just to catch it up, he's got KC as well.
Hmm.
He's got Jacksonville. He's got Cincy. Dude, I think he's picked like literally everything that we did.
Probably. I
Let's
mean, there's no
see.
reason for him to be biased anymore.
No,
I
no,
mean,
he picked Tampa Bay.
Okay.
That's good. You know, we need some variety. He picked New England. No, I'm just kidding. He picked Buffalo.
I was concerned because he picked them. He picked against the Bills the other week, and I
He
thought it was like
did.
a little out of spite. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like,
And then he's on Minnesota as well.
makes sense. Shout out Holden. Hope you had a good vacation and a happy New Year. Seemed like it.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Look like fun.
It looked like fun. But yeah, so I'm on the Bengals and wrapping up my spiel. Shout out to Bengals Nation and all them. I don't know. I think that's strengthened that bond, and I'll always have a little soft spot for them from here on out. Except maybe when they're playing the Steelers, because it's a classy organization.
Hey,
But
yeah,
let's
you know.
move on to a game that means absolutely nothing. The only thing that this has implications for is draft order, maybe. Texans Colts, which is weird because I feel this Colts team should have a worse record than this Texans team, and I don't know why. Like, I know it's only a 2-game difference between the two of them, but it's just weird. I'm going to jump out ahead of this one. I'm going to take the Texans because why not?
I mean, seriously though, let's talk about it though. Indianapolis going into this season was seen as a like dark horse for the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan on
You
it.
think so?
At least
I
from
heard
what
I heard takes like that.
yeah, at least what analysts were saying. Like there were so many people like, oh, Matt Ryan's just gonna give this team another level. Pittman's gonna be a number one. Like all the TikTok fantasy chads were like, Pittman's going to be the number one. It's
And
just like
and Taylor like
yeah, Tyrod.
really good
Yeah.
playing.
How many people
Jonathan.
took Tyrod in the first round?
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan.
Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor.
But yeah, like think about it. Like tell me you wouldn't have picked Indy at the beginning of the season. Like come on.
I didn't. I picked Tennessee to win that division. Like, because Indy shat the bed last year and like the year prior, kind of. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Horrible choice in
I almost think
quarterbacks.
firing Frank Reich was a mistake. I mean, I
Oh yeah.
get some flack
For Jeff
that.
Saturday? Like yeah, of course it was.
Too bad they're not playing on Saturday this week. Maybe they would have won.
F.
Undefeated on Saturdays. I do love that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, but I don't know. It's just like, no, I didn't see them as a Super Bowl contender at all. And like, I understood the logic with like, oh, Matt Ryan finally having a run game. But then when Jonathan Taylor was like not even half of what he was last year, it was like, oh no, Matt Ryan has to throw the ball 40 times again a game,
Again.
It's just,
though.
again.
Yeah.
Well, It's just like it's too much for an arm that old. Like it just is. Like unless you're TB12. So I'm on the Texans. Are you on the Texans, Aaron?
Man, yeah. Well,
You can do what you want.
Indy is favored, dude.
I know, but it's just like I don't know why. Like this Texans team, went to bat with KC, then went to bat with Dallas, and like those were better teams. And I know they got absolutely raked by Jacksonville, but Jacksonville is a juggernaut right now, at least presumably so, until proven otherwise.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep this going. We're gonna go 7 for 7 matching picks here.
Aaron, I don't need that. I need to beat you for the season, and that does not
Burke's
help
grinning
me.
over there too. He's like,
He's like,
pick fucking Houston. Go ahead, Burke. Tell us who you're gonna pick.
So, I think this is a comeback game to prove that he's not ass. I'm going
No way.
Colts.
What?
They're favored. They're favored a
Colts?
little bit. I'll go Colts because the Texans are ass, and I think they're going to tank for the pick. And that's all I'm saying here.
I mean, did like Nick Foles really get hurt?
He's not on the injury report, but Stephon Gilmore's questionable, but that's not really anything. I mean, the biggest injury they have is Kenny Moore, the cornerback they had, but he's on IR, so he's not gonna play at all. So
he'll play on one leg. He'll find a way.
I broke my leg, but I put the team on my back though.
Nah, dude. Yeah, that's weird. I'm actually kind of interested to see what the future of these two franchises are, because I mean, Houston obviously being free fall from Deshaun, and then I don't know, just Indy, I guess, still in free fall from Andrew Luck retiring out of nowhere.
Dude, it's crazy.
They haven't been the same since they retired like that, and they've tried. They've tried to get people that have been at least halfway decent quarterbacks, and they all haven't worked out.
Well, yeah, the Philip Rivers year was actually pretty good, and then just after that, it was like, whoa, Carson Wentz experiment failed, and then Matt Ryan experiment failed, and it's just like, I'm like, yo, the Bills tried that route, like getting guys in free agency, and I feel like you just really got to draft, and I'll be interested to see what they do with all that for sure.
Holden is also on Houston, so.
Dude, I knew.
Burke is the going against the grain there. I'm keeping that pick. You're not changing that.
Yeah, I'm keeping it, dude.
Bold man. Aaron, in some ways, it's not your game of the week, but it's like adjacent to it. It's like married to your game of the week because you need a triage of games.
I do. Actually, 3. Yeah.
That being said, it is one of them. We already talked about one of them already. Jets. Dolphins. Jets are favored by 1 point.
Let me tell you.
In Miami. Tell me.
So Miami is still technically in contention for the playoffs, right? Like they're still.
They need to win as well. If they lose, they're out. If they win, they are in, I believe.
So hear me out. Can we confirm that Zach Wilson is starting?
No, I wouldn't confirm anything. I think they much prefer Mike White. I think the players don't like him. I think the coach doesn't like him.
I think it's going to be a close game, like Vegas has it, because it's Mike White versus, what's it? Who's starting for them? It's
not Teddy Bridgewater because he's questionable.
He's also injured.
It's Skyler something.
I'm not familiar. I'm trying to look it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, whoa. What
Skyler
happened?
Thompson. Yeah. I think that's it.
Thompson. That's Thompson. Yeah.
So he came in last game and just played abysmally. So, if that's a word.
It is now.
I'm hoping for the New York Jets defense. I'm so sorry, Jack. I know you want the better draft pick. I need the Jets to ball. I need them to squeeze the fish.
Squeeze les fish.
So yeah, I'm all New York Jets, and I think this is the biggest I've been on New York Jets all season.
I'm sure a lot of people are with you there. I think I'm also on the Jets.
8 for 8. Let's go.
Because nobody likes a dolphin, man. They're just not a great animal. All right.
They're not smart.
They're too smart.
The Dolphins on
my
their
animals dumb.
The third string quarterback, like you said, Thompson looked horrible. Your double-headed snake and Hill and Waddle haven't been showing up as as they used to in the beginning of the season. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, how many of their games have they lost in the last like 8 weeks?
Oh, dude, it's been.
Most
It's
of
been a
them.
streak, dude. I
I think
Yeah.
mean,
it's like they're on a
So,
4 or 5 game losing streak. Like,
yeah. So, I mean, I think Jets take it. Even I don't think they're in a position like the teams we talked about before this to be tanking for a pick. So, I think I'm on the Jets. Rooting for Aaron
oh,
too to
I
get
love to
that
hear
playoff
it.
spot.
yes, yes.
Dude, it just sucks because like we love Gabe Harari and he's a huge Dolphins guy. But I can't stand this Fins team right now.
Woo!
So I'm on these Jets. They whooped them early in the year. I'm hoping their D shows up. Obviously, a little bit of difference, but I'm just wondering if this snaky, sneaky Dolphins organization finds a way to clear Tua or clear Teddy B to just have them play. Like there has to be like a 30 for 30 on just how many like significant head injuries Tua has gotten.
I mean, this season alone, right? It's like 3 full blown
Really bad
concussions.
ones too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially one
Yeah,
where it's like you're having neurological.
dude, that was scary.
When
Like,
Yeah, I thought that. Well, I mean, not to compare it to what happened Monday, but it's like I think everyone like if you were going to tell them what was the most like dramatic part of the year, I was like, oh, it was that like that was a scary, scary ass injury, and it was totally just like thrown under the bus and like watered down to be like, oh, it was nothing. He was watching a movie with the coach on the way back. I'm like, yo, I've had some concussions, and like let me tell you, like you are not that good after one. You just are
no.
not like. So I'll be
And that,
interested to see if they find a way to kind of like do something shady to get their best team out there.
well, the thing was, is like after his most recent one, he couldn't recall the plays that he had thrown picks on.
Oh,
I
really? I
mean,
didn't know that. That's
like
really scary.
while that's funny, while we're thinking about it, it's also just like, dude, you were still in the game. Like in the independent neurological people or neurologists um didn't do anything because they were like, oh, it has to be self-reported. It's like, dude, he's throwing picks, he can't recall the plays. Like, I get that it needs to be self-reported, but dude, like Tua may have to like sue the NFL to get some type of reparation there
I mean,
because they kept
maybe.
him in the game.
Well, because it's like organizations have been shady before, like quote unquote, been asked to their old coach to tank to lose games on purpose.
Yep.
Insider stuff with trying to get Tom Brady to get there in the offseason instead of
Yep.
Tampa. That
Tampering.
was, yeah, tampering. And like I saw another rumor like shared by Gabe's Twitter about how potentially Tom could leave in the offseason to go to Miami. And like objectively, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good move. Like you honestly, the two wide receivers they have, they just need someone who can throw the ball half competently and they'll score a lot of points.
Yep.
But so yeah, I'm on the Jets. We're all on the Jets.
Holden is also on the Jets.
Jets, 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 Jets. Golly, that
How's
sounds
that
gross
feel?
to say out loud.
How's that feel?
Oh no.
That is absolutely disgusting. I think I
Let
need to
that
like
marinate.
commit like harikari outside after this.
Jeez.
Or
What?
what was
What?
it?
Are you on the second
Seppuku?
floor? Just jump out the window.
No, that's not enough from here. The grass is too soft.
We do not condone suicide.
We do not.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's a talk. Get help,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, seriously.
I'd rather
Can you
you
edit
cry
one
on
of
my
those
shoulder
suicide
than me
hotline
cry at
numbers
your.
Oh
down
my
here?
gosh.
I can, but that's just like a lot.
Yeah.
Moving on. NFC South
Oh
matchup
no.
that means nothing. Total pride game, if that's what you want to say. Saints Panthers. Saints favorite 2.5. Burke, what are your thoughts on this one?
I honestly, I was looking at this before this. I didn't even want to look at this game. It was so pointless. There's no reason for them to play or win. I mean, if I was ballsy enough, I'd say tie. But I'm gonna go with whatever the spread is here. The Saints.
Saints
they're a
minus
little
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
very
I just
intriguing.
no. I mean, it's just not even worth a thought in my mind.
Jeez. All right.
Sean, what do you think?
Me, dude, I don't want to make a pick in this game. This game stinks. This game is so dumb. I'm like, it's all tangled in my head because part of me is like, okay, these teams have one game difference in their records. So part of me is like, I mean, Panthers have the worst record. I'm like, oh, Panthers probably want to lose, so they get a slightly higher draft pick because then they'll be 6-11, not 6-10. But then I'm like, wait, maybe Saints want to lose more, so that way they'll be they'll be 6-10 as well, or like 7-10 as well. Like,
Oh, that
I
is a
just-
problem of like having even seasons with the rest of your division.
yeah, I just can't wrap my head around it, and so I'm like, who wants to lose more? But then I'm like, well, I don't even know who the Saints coach is anymore since Sean Payne retired, and that's pretty bad on my part. I'm trying to.
Oh.
Panthers won earlier this year.
Something Allen.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Panthers here just to switch it up. I know Saints got the upset on the Eagles, but golly, just saying the Panthers out loud just stinks. Aaron, who are you picking?
I'm probably gonna go Panthers as well. Actually, I think the Panthers still played a decent game last week.
They did. They should have won. I thought it was such bullshit.
Yeah, and like that was the first time in like what 3 or 4 weeks that Tampa Bay has scored. Actually, no, first time in like 7 weeks that Tampa Bay has scored 30 points or anything above 25 points for that matter.
Yeah.
So it's as much as I hate to say it with you, I think Sam Darnold's still playing for trade value. You know what I mean? And also, just to make a comment to Jets fans, how does it feel to know that Sam Darnold isn't a bust like you think he is, and your Zach Wilson is?
I mean,
Or
geez,
is it too early to declare Zach Wilson a bust?
I'd say yes for me personally, but I'm definitely someone who looks on the upside of things. I mean, I think for him it's an attitude issue. I think that's totally what it is. I think he has the intangibles, the arm strength, but to quote our Jets insider, Jack, he holds the ball for too long when he's in there, and he's not accepting responsibility. Like, you have to. There's been times even this season when we've lost or whatever, and Josh has been like, "Yep, quarterback play has to be better. I got to play better if we're gonna win." And I'm like, I love that. That's a guy that you want to fight for, and no one wants to fight for Zach Wilson. So,
His
but I will
teammates don't
say,
even want to fight for him.
yeah,
No.
What did he say in the press conference? He was like, "I didn't let them down."
yeah.
It's
They
like,
were like, "Oh, did you let the defense down today?" And he was like, "No, I don't think so." Like, and it's like
Clearly
you can even
did.
say, "Yeah, probably a little." Like, you didn't have to admit it like expectantly or enthusiastically. You just have to like kind of nod and be like, "Yeah, it wasn't my best game." Like, you have to be able to take that on the chin. It's the pros. But I will say,
I got
think
one more. I got one more thing for it.
Yeah,
Actually.
go ahead.
All the ticket prices on the ESPN right now. The
Stop.
lowest one
Oh,
are
God.
the Panthers and Saints at $8. Cheaper than Redskins games a few
Hold
years
on one
back
sec.
when they're still the
Dude,
Redskins.
that's so gross.
Oh no.
Hello?
Hello?
Nah,
Yeah.
Nah on the pod. Nah on the pod. Wait. What are Nia's thoughts on the Giants making it to the playoffs?
Naya. She locked herself in the bathroom.
Good for her.
Nice.
Just like you.
I do that too. Sometimes you just gotta lock yourself in there until it goes.
your demons out.
They want to know how you feel about the Giants making the playoffs. She's really happy.
Yay! That's awesome. Cool beans.
She got mad at me because I didn't feedback them yet.
What the
Nice.
heck, dude? You know that
He's a good
boy's gotta
boy.
eat.
You gotta
He's
feed
like
the good
100
boy.
pounds. He's got to eat something.
I can't stop the pod to go feed the dog. I got. He'll be okay.
He'll be okay.
He gets treats anyways.
Yeah. I do think the Jets are probably the toughest franchise to play for. Somehow tougher than the Giants. I don't know why.
I mean, coaching.
I mean, New York. I
Probably.
feel just New York teams are just under such high scrutiny because like the media focuses on them so much, and they've been historically garbage unless they're the New York Yankees, and
And their
that's
home
tough.
field sucked so bad.
Yeah,
They
MetLife,
do, dude. Well, I think they're redoing the turf this year. Because there
Yeah.
were a ton of complaints about that, which I went there and saw a game. I was like, yo, this turf looks bad. Like, I've played on better turf. Like, man, yeah. But Aaron, we're coming back to you on this one. It's your last game of the week. The trifecta will be completed by this game Sunday, 1 o'clock. The Steelers hosting the Cleveland Brownies.
The
Pittsburgh
Browns.
favored -2.5. Are the Steelers going to take it home and get a winning record for the 20th time in a row with head coach Mike Tomlin?
So, it'd be the 19th.
I just made that number up. I was just guessing, but wow, cool.
Well, no, it'd be the 16th because Coach Tomlin has been coaching for 19 years.
Close enough.
But I just want to give a simple shout out to Holden and Ryan. You know, the people who were betting the Steelers under.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I just want to say, I told you so. I told you so. Vegas be damned.
Aaron is
So
inevitable.
yeah, it's Kenny is inevitable.
Bro, you're not gonna
But
shout me out. I bet the Steelers win total over.
yeah, no, I'm not
All right,
coming
whatever. I don't
at
want to
you.
rush
I'm
you.
not
No,
coming
this is your
at you.
monologue. This is your monologue.
Yeah, exactly. Let me work. So yeah, I obviously am picking the Steelers, but let's just talk about last game, dude. We established the run in a crazy way that they haven't done all season.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Warren has been showing out as an undrafted free agent rookie,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. And then Kenny Pickett, man. Everyone doubted him. Everyone said had historically bad stats and all this and that 2 months ago. And then look at this man now, dude. You can't ask for anything more out of the only quarterback that was picked out of the first round in the 2022 draft. And we look at Willis, how's he panned out? We look at Ritter, how's he panned out? Like in terms of what talent was lying there in wait, and with the play calling of Matt Canada, you wonder how Kenny Pickett would have done with a better play caller, or
Yeah.
or a slightly better offensive line. It's just like
Or if he
if
played
he's
the whole year, what if they never let Mitch play? Not to.
no, I mean, but that's a valid point, like, and I was telling the group chat that we lost like 4 or 5 one-score games. Like the Steelers could easily be 12-4 right now, and that's weird to say after the football you've been seeing all season.
Yeah.
But like after this long and seeing how many games we lost by like 1 or like 7 or 10 points, like it could have easily gone a different way. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, 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 Pittsburgh. I'm claiming that as a grammatically correct sentence.
You know what? Someone in Pittsburgh will back you up on that.
Exactly.
More than someone probably. I
Burke.
think. I mean, I'm gonna echo the same thing there. Taking
Let's
the
ride.
Steelers
Hoorah!
because I mean, number one here, Tomlin. How many losing seasons has he had? None.
Big old
And
goose egg.
I don't think
He's a
that ends
beast.
this year.
0.
So, playoffs on the line. Got to take the win. Kenny Pickett's been playing well. Najee Harris finally getting into his groove again.
Get him.
I mean, I can't say I can't say much. And then the Browns. I mean,
dude, fuck the Browns.
Deshaun Watson,
my language.
horrible.
That's my one F
So,
alarm.
yeah. So yeah, Steelers all the way. Rooting for him. Want to see him in the playoffs.
Let's go.
My boy thrive.
I don't care if I get balled out on by the Bills or Kansas City. I just want to see him go with this team.
I mean, honestly, it's tough to like put a value on that experience for a rookie quarterback like Kenny Pickett. So, I mean, say what you will, but not bad. Let's see. Did Kenny Pickett play the first time?
Yeah. No.
I don't think he did. It was just all Mitch. I think that's going to be a difference maker. I am taking the Browns. I'm not taking the Browns. I'm taking. Oh my! Aaron's about to get up and drive to DC and beat my ass. I'm taking Pittsburgh and I'm taking the spread. I'm taking Steelers -2.5.
Let's go.
I think the Browns really lucked out last week against Washington. That's what I was meaning to start with. And I think Pittsburgh is going to bring up a much better fight, much better coaching. And Kenny Pickett's is going to play a great game. I think as long as they don't turn the ball over and just like let Watson try to beat you with his arm, like I think they win this game. And hopefully we'll see Pittsburgh in the Yolks, whether they win or not.
Exactly. Also, just to catch everyone up, Holden is on New Orleans, and he is also on Pittsburgh.
Wow. I'm shocked. I'm shocked he didn't pick it just to spite you.
I mean, that might be why. I don't know. Yeah.
No. All right. Let's move on to a really big snoozer of a game. Golly. I always forget how bad like week 18 is when like everyone's just resting everyone. Broncos Chargers. Broncos favored -2. Broncos had, I don't know, like almost their most points scored of the season. Ironically, against the Chiefs again.
Russell Wilson beat the bathrooms.
He beat the bathrooms. He got the toilet bowl. special.
That should have been a special on DraftKings. I guarantee you, people would have like joked.
Been
I don't
all over that, dude.
know. They would have ironically, but I mean, they're not going to sit Russell Wilson, right? They can't.
No, I mean maybe, but it'd be the game of the WEAK, because the Chargers are obviously sitting somebody. Yeah, knee slapper.
That was good. No, that took me a second. I was like, did he just misspell week? I'm like, it's the other one.
But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. You go ahead, Sean.
No, Burke, you go. Who you got?
Oh,
Bathroom
well,
boy.
I think if the Broncos don't sit him, Wilson's gonna want to put up as many touchdowns as he can. Try to look
Just
good.
to bury the bathroom.
I mean, he's playing for a coach, right? They need a coach in the offseason, and they're not going to attract someone good with Russell playing the way he is with all the work that he needs. So, I mean, I'll take the Broncos because the Chargers don't have anything in the playoff. They already made it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter. They'll probably sit Herbert, I would guess, and it's just
Yep.
going to be a snoozer. And maybe the Broncos score, maybe they don't. But I mean, they've had maximum of 2 offensive touchdowns in a game this season. I mean, it's going to be
Golly, Russell's
Yeah.
got to use his legs last week. That's so weird.
Imagine
Yep.
a scrambling
Yep.
quarterback scrambling.
first time all season. He didn't run for like 5 games.
He did not, which was unfortunate. Aaron, are you differing from our friend Burke?
Oh man, no, we're riding. We're riding with Broncos country. I mean,
Let's ride, baby.
if Denver's not going to sit any of their players, I mean, this is again, it's like the what was it, the Houston and Indianapolis game? It's an ugly game, dude. You're just fighting for draft position, or I guess for Denver. I guess they would want to lose. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if I believe in tanking. I mean, I do.
I hate
but
it.
I don't think it's
Hate
going to change them that much. I mean, if they really have their eye on someone and they're like, we have to get that guy because they've won 4 games this season, so they're in the top 5 for sure. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. But Chase Daniel is the backup for the LA Chargers, and he's actually a pretty good backup. I'm not gonna
Is he?
lie. Yeah, he's won some games here and there.
Okay.
He's been competitive, so
All
I'm
right.
half tempted to take that. And the Bolts did look good. Yeah, I'll take the Broncos. I feel I'm just gonna get bit in the butt so much this week on tanking teams potentially, but if the Broncos play their starters, just go out strong. I'm gonna let them have it. Yeah,
No.
Broncos
So-
country, let's ride, baby.
Broncos
Bold.
country. Let's hide.
Holden is on the Chargers.
I knew it.
Big
Well,
Bolts guy.
He's a huge Bolts
Big
guy.
Bolts guy.
Huge.
Sorry, Jamal.
Sorry, Jamal. Even though they made the playoffs. Jamal
Yeah,
did
they
call
made
it.
the playoffs, and
Yeah, they're fine.
Jamal won fantasy. So
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? He has actually been pretty good in the past years and just gotten unlucky in the playoffs. But
Yep.
well, who knows?
Justin
Jack may
Jefferson.
come back.
hey, I won 3rd place. I want my money back. Okay.
Are we doing that this year? I actually forgot to ask.
Yes.
I never remember these things. I'm sorry.
Are
Like,
you asking me or
like
telling
money?
me?
yeah,
Oh,
what's the split? I forget. Like between
What?
first and
Oh.
second.
Okay, so we did $30. Do we have to do this math?
It's
30
30,
times
60,
12.
and then
And you give 25% to the second player.
It's 25%. I'll ask in the chat. I just never remember this stuff because I feel it changes from year to year.
So 360.
I thought it was just money back, double your money, and then the rest goes to the winner.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. That's we'll figure it out. Whatever. That's our fantasy football break. Real quick. I
Money.
forgot that we do have a segment here in Burke. If I'm putting you too much on the spot, we can just divvy out of it. But with our guests here, we like to pick one coach that you could beat in a fight.
Okay.
Out of all the coaches, it could be anyone.
Let me think. I have someone in mind.
Tom Sula from back in the day.
No, dude, not Tom Sula. I think I could beat Mike McDaniel in a fight.
Wow, that's our second Mike McDaniel this year.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Okay, very cool.
I saw him on the Niners as the offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
and he's a small body, you know.
Yeah. All
Couldn't
right.
throw a good punch.
Great pick. I'm glad you didn't default to Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick, just the old guys, you know?
Oh
Oh,
no, I don't want to beat
jeez.
up my
Old coach.
grandfather, dude.
Not yet.
Oh no.
And one starting NFL quarterback you could beat in a 40-yard dash.
Oh no. I want to say like, I mean, I'm pretty slow, so maybe like,
The blur.
yeah, oof. Like Matty Ice, maybe now.
Hey,
I like
old ass.
that.
That's an
a
original
good
pick.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to default to Tim Brady.
Nah, I was thinking Tom Brady. I was like, nah, I don't want to be that guy.
Everybody
Oh,
goes
be
to Tom.
that guy. Okay. Wow. Very cool. Well, thanks for answering that. Those are great answers. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Mike McDaniel, Matt Ryan, that old poor man. NFC beast matchup here. Giants, Eagles. Eagles favored by a whopping 14 points. I'm assuming New York is sitting everyone because they have no chance in the division. I guess that means Jalen Hurts ain't gonna play either. So you know what that means? It could be Tyrod time for New York.
Tyrod.
He is their backup.
You know what? And just for that, I love me some Tyrod, man. I'm gonna go Giants.
No way. You're picking
Going
the Giants to
Giants.
win?
Call it bias for my wife's picks. Call it bias for Tyrod. Dude, I remember there was a game last season where we were like, oh, if Tyrod starts for Houston, he's gonna win, and they just got blown out.
They did. It was so bad. I was like, no, Tyrod.
But we're giving him another shot.
Tyrod.
Philly minus 14. That's too many points, especially for backups. I got Tyrod and the Giants.
Dude, that's tough. Burke, help me out here. Help me make sense of this.
So
We know where he's going.
this is the only biased other game pick that I'm gonna have because I need
Tech
the
boys.
Eagles to lose. So
Hey, let's go.
I'm taking the Giants. Tyrod Taylor, tech guy, love him.
Big tech guy.
Let's go,
The Eagles
Keys.
lose, the one's up for grabs, and
Dokies.
they suck without Jalen Hurts, and he's probably not playing again. So
I hope he's not playing.
I'm taking Giants all day, and they'll definitely cover. 14 points is huge.
Yeah.
Backups, like you said.
There's a ton of points. Wow. I'm so geeked right now. The G-Man. Dude, that's hysterical. Yeah.
What you got?
I'm on the Birds here. The Birds are gonna win. I'm sorry. Like, they just have to. Like, I know they got upset by the Saints with Gardner Minshew there, but if the Giants are resting people, they may not put up their best foot. Even though I do love me some Tyrod, I will take the Giants to cover, which sounds like a mistake here. Because plus 14 is a huge freaking number. And I like their backup wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins. They picked him up off our practice squad, and he's like, I think, scored in every game since that they played him. So they'll find something there. So, but yeah, Eagles game, Giants one of my bets. Add it to my card.
Holden is on Philly as well.
Interesting. Probably because he hates Dallas more. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I think everybody hates Dallas more.
There's not even any likable. Like, Dak Prescott used to be likable, and now I feel he's not anymore. And like, neither is Zeke.
I like
I like
the only
CeeDee
two.
Lamb.
Yeah, like three players maybe. It's like Tony Pollard, CD, and then Micah Parsons. Bro.
Oh, that's true.
Big Penn
Mike
State
Parsons
guy.
is nice. I forgot their one linebacker's name out of Boise State. I like him too.
Van Der Esch.
Thank you. Big fan of his. Moving on here to a less competitive game somehow. Cardinals, Niners, San
Burke's
Fran
game of the
favored
week.
They're by a whopping 14.5 here. Good lord. Burke, tell me why the San Francisco Niners are just going to end Arizona's season here and now forever.
Well, let's start on the Cardinals side of things. Kyler's still out. They're starting what's his face. I don't even remember his name. It's David Blau.
Oh
and then
yeah.
Hopkins is out. I
Yep.
mean, just everything about their team is awful. We annihilated them last time we played them, and
You did.
now's no different because the the 1 seed's on the line. But
Yep.
also with the Niners, we have the potential to get Debo back.
Nice.
He come back this week,
I like that.
and of course, the BCV always playing. He's playing his heart
BCB
out.
and
He's gonna keep
CMC.
going.
Yep.
So,
I'm
we
so
didn't have any major injuries last week. Hopefully none this week. That's what we're hoping for, but Shanahan's not taking people out, no resting players. It's going to be a slaughter, I have a feeling. I mean, there's just I don't even see how, unless we play down, like it's going to be anywhere near close.
Played
Yeah,
down to David Blau.
I mean, because y'all are
Yeah.
playing for seeding, right? Because there's a potential
Yeah.
for y'all to have a 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was reading it correctly. I'm half tempted to take this spread. It's such a large amount, but y'all really just did dog them in Mexico so bad, so bad, and y'all are at home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm definitely on the. I'm taking the Niners and I'm taking the points. They're winning by everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm riding with you guys again. It's hard for me to pick like against San Fran with that defense, dude. Like hey, the legend, Rice. It's really hard for me to pick against them. Even if this wasn't an easy matchup, like even if you were gonna tell me that they were gonna play Green Bay this week, I'd still pick San Fran because San Fran's defense has just been that good. And like maybe their secondary's given up a little bit as the Devonte Adams had his way with number 7. I forget his name, Ward, I think.
Ward,
Yeah,
Jadavius Ward.
but that's arguably one of the best wide receivers active in the game right now, besides Jettas and a couple other names.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's San Fran. Bring it back to the Golden City there. Um, Now we talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still think that the head coach is not on the hot seat?
I think you give him 1 more year. I mean, because I think this will be his. This is his second year, I think.
Kingsbury. He might
Kingsbury,
he
dude,
might
I
he might just leave.
Maybe it
always
is
I've
for
forget
heard
his
his.
I've
name.
heard he might just leave and go somewhere else or retire or something. That's what the
Yeah,
rumors were.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because if it's
Well,
his third year, yes, that could be on the chopping block. Because I know he was the guy who drafted Kyler.
Hmm.
I mean, I think they're attached together for the most part because I mean they did have that history of B. No, not A&M. Sorry, they don't have that history. They have no history. I think maybe some. Whatever. I'm confusing myself now. Yeah, dude. So I don't think so, but I don't know. Maybe they give him one more shot. I think it always also comes down to what is on the table. I know there's been a lot of talk about the Niners defensive coordinator, potentially
True.
Chiefs offensive coordinator. That guy has been mentioned a ton the past 3 years.
Eric
So
Bieniemy. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even our defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier. There's been rumors of him potentially getting another shot, and then for some reason there's rumors of Harbaugh, John, or is it Jim, the one from Michigan,
Jim.
Jim. Yeah.
potentially re-entering the league, even though he was a finalist for the Vikings position this offseason, and once he didn't get it, he said he swore off the NFL. He was like, "I'm done with that forever now."
Yeah. We'll see.
But hey, it's always like what's going on recently. So I do have a question for Burke though, just because we have 3 games left, and there wasn't a lot to be talked about there for Niners ball, because hopefully they will just win in such a route. Who do you want to see starting for the San Francisco 49ers next year, and why?
So
At quarterback, if I didn't specify.
Yeah.
yeah, so right now I love Jimmy.
Mhm.
I've been a supporter of Jimmy. I know people you should see the Reddit comments. It's horrible. People are so mean to him. But I mean, I think he's gone, and that's just unfortunate from the injury. So it's between Trey Lance and BCB. If we go to the Super Bowl or make a run or something, I think there's a real conversation for Brock taking the helm because
You
I know
think?
we traded up for Lance, sure,
Hmm.
and I know he got injured. We didn't really see what he had going on, but
Hmm.
Brock was drafted and then just took off.
Yeah.
Right, the first 2 games at the Lance, he wasn't play. He didn't play amazing. He wasn't, you know, a winner by any means. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bust or anything, but
Not
you
yet.
know, if you do make a run, I think there's a really good chance we see Brock start next season.
Interesting.
Yep.
I think it'll definitely be a quarterback competition at the least.
Mhm.
You know.
Yep.
So cool. All right. Well, thanks for sharing
I
your
got
thoughts on
one
that.
more. I got one more bet you can take.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray over gold camos.
Ooh.
Over. Dude, I got to get on the new Call of Duty. Burke, you may know this. I had a coworker today who said that his friend in high school won a map competition where he designed a map for one of the Call of Duties back in the day. And one of the features he put in there, he put in like a teddy bear. And like apparently it's featured in a ton of other maps now. Like the developers like that so much they kept it. Are you familiar with that or?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there's a teddy bear in a lot of apps. It's on Nuketown for however many games that's been in. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, cool. I'll have to tell him that. That's so good. Thanks for confirming that. Burk May, Call of Duty insider expert.
Holden's on San Fran too.
What a
I
freaking
fucking hope so.
nerd he better be. Keep it in the NFC West. Wow, back-to-back NFC West games. Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 6.5. Burke, are the Rams going to play spoiler here, or Seahawks find a way to sneak in?
I think this is probably one of the toughest matchups I was looking at today. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the Seahawks playing for a playoff spot, right? They're still in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rams, you got Baker, right? He's
Just
still
ram
playing,
it. He do be
and
playing.
he's playing for a job. And people counted him out this season.
They did.
He had
I
that
did.
amazing, yeah, he had that amazing comeback victory after what 2 days
Yep.
with the
Yeah, something
team.
like that.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Didn't even know where the locker room was.
exactly. He was yelling like like don't
Get
even
over
know their
here.
people players' names. Like I see this as like a shootout for some reason. Gino
Hmm.
playing his mind out and the Rams. I mean, I think I gotta take the Seahawks, and I hate to say it because I hate the bitch pigeons, but I mean, I think they're gonna play hard enough to get make their chance at the playoffs, but I think it'll be pretty tight. So I don't think they'll cover.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Aaron.
Oh man. You know what? I'll give Baker a chance, man. After
Yeah.
after what I saw, what they did on Christmas Day to
It was beautiful.
whoever it was, I forget who it was.
Denver.
Denver. Oh yeah, how could I forget?
It's all good.
Yeah, no, after I saw what they did to them, and I guess who did they play last week?
And they played the Chargers, and I mean, they lost, but I mean, the Chargers were just
It was
on
closer
one.
though, right? Like it wasn't.
At half, it
31-10.
was.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'll give the Rams one last ditch effort to either give some of their players some trade value
Mhm.
or because I mean it was just so weird watching LA fall from grace after winning the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just a hard fall. And I mean, okay, Cooper Cup getting hurt, that's one thing. Not having Odell obviously made things tough, but like
I mean, no Matthew Stafford, no Allen Robinson, Aaron Donald getting injured. I mean, just
hold on.
dropping like flies.
Allen Robinson was there at the beginning of the season, and Matthew Stafford owes me fantasy points for not throwing to him. There are so many games where he had one-digit games, and I'm just sort of like, is Matt Stafford racist? Why is he not throwing to the other wide receiver? Like, come on. And then he
Could be
threw to
interesting.
Confirmed.
Skowronek. He threw to Skowronek more than Allen. Come on.
Warnick. What a
He's a
name.
big body. What do you want from him?
We'll
Sean, who you
definitely
got? Who you got?
we'll definitely chalk that up. Dude, I want to take the Rams so bad. I'm so biased towards Baker. I took him last week because I wanted a repeat of the Christmas magic, and Christmas was, gosh, peak. I was like, dang, maybe this is the revival of Baker, and they put pieces around him, and Sean McVay will find a way to make it all work, because he's a genius. And then it didn't happen, but really, I think what let them was the most to blame was the Rams defense, and it is really injured. So that being said, they couldn't stop a nosebleed, let alone the run. The Seahawks run the ball well. So I'm going to be on the Hawks here, especially because I think they have more to play. I would love to see the Rams play upset, though, just to keep their division rival out of it. And end the season with a little grace. But yeah, and I'm not touching the spread because that's just too much for me personally. All right, let's get ready for our Sunday night game. This one, whoa, pump
We
all the brakes on
we
this
missed
one.
one.
Yeah,
No,
speaking of Washington,
We missed one.
Holden is on Seattle.
good. Well, because we're about to talk about Washington right now. Dallas
Yay!
Commanders. I heard potentially they're going to let that kid out of North Carolina play a little. Can't remember his
Yes,
name right
Sam
now.
Howell.
Sam Howell
I had
might
to
get some
write it
playing
down.
time. Oh gosh, dude. I almost wish Holden was on here because I need some explanation. I feel this would like I'd get an honest answer from him about how bad this team is, how bad the coaching is, how bad the decision making is.
I
This team
mean,
should be a playoff team. They should.
they could have been, dude.
Mhm.
They
Coulda,
could have
shoulda,
been.
woulda.
And so I have a couple of other Washington fans and a couple of other football chats, and
Hmm.
they're like, what was the point of putting in Carson Wentz?
I have no
You
idea.
had a guy that people could rally around, and then one loss, and you change it, like. And you know, Heineke, for what it's worth, you know, we discussed this. He's more of like a Fitzpatrick where he plays well, the
Hmm.
team likes him,
Yeah,
but like as soon as he loses, he's booted,
yeah.
and it's like, I don't know, Ron. And did you see the press conference where Ron didn't even know they could be eliminated?
Not a great look at
Like,
all by any means.
I just like watching that was just like, he's doing this in spite of Dan Snyder, isn't he?
I don't think he is. And like not to interject here, but like I think that may have been his job. I think him choosing to start Carson
Mm,
over Taylor was his job. And maybe he saw it either way cuz like, damned if you do, damned if you don't cuz like, oh, if we lose with Taylor, then it's like, wow, I've had this dude on my team for 3 years now or I've had to depend on him and nothing's worked and I brought in Carson for a little bit of money, and never gave him enough time,
yeah,
or I go with Carson and I mean, it was just awful. I almost would have benched Carson at half. I mean, I know it's not a great look, but if your job is on the line, like,
he
and
scored at the half. That's why he kept him in. But then he threw another pick.
I know, but
Mhm.
like the best thing I saw from a Washington insider was like they're not going to make any coaching changes because that may disrupt the potential sale of the team because no new owner is
Ah,
going to want to pay out all these old contracts on a coach that's not coaching there anymore, or Dan too because he's so cheap.
yeah.
So yeah. That being said, I'm going to pick against Washington. I'm taking Dallas, and I'm taking the spread.
Okay. Burke, who you got?
I think I'm riding with the Cowboys as much as that hurts me. I hate seeing them succeed, but that I mean the Commanders crumbled. I mean they were looking like a playoff team and they tied and then it all went to shit.
Mm,
I mean they dropped three, I think.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
one of them was against the Niners and that was probably going to be a loss anyways.
yeah.
But you know the quarterback, the coaching, you know, I, I don't know why they brought in. I mean, I guess they brought him in Carson in the Niners game, and
Right.
because Heineke wasn't playing well. But again, the number one defense in the NFL.
Yep,
So
Yeah.
for a
what
good
what
reason.
is yeah what I wouldn't judge anybody there, right? And that's I don't understand disrupting it like that when Carson wasn't really playing that well at the beginning of the season, anyways. And then now switching again, it's like they're tanking for something. What are they tanking for? They're not. It's not like you're looking at a great pick if you lose another game.
Because they're a fringe team. Like it's been known for weeks. Oh, they're going to be a wild card at best, or it's like, when you're in that middle ground, it's like, oh, great, we don't have a top 5, top 10 pick, and we have none of the accolades at the end because we didn't actually get to play for a championship. So you're in that weird middle ground, and it's so hard to get out of.
Hmm.
Yeah. And with that, I'm gonna take Dallas as well. I loved watching, Washington have those good games and make the plays that they needed to get to, contention. Because
Yeah,
like, I don't think there was a single like team that wanted to see Washington with that defense at one point.
dude, with that wide receiver core, come
Exactly,
on.
yeah. And so, it stinks to have to see it. Holden is now officially picking Dallas, and I don't know if it's for Uno
Oh,
reverse. But
No,
I'm gonna
dude, I think it's solely because he's like now super uber mega pissed off at the team, and he
well,
should
like,
be.
would that be their Super Bowl if they beat Dallas? Because Dallas isn't resting any starters.
I mean, they aren't because they're playing for seeding. Because if Philly loses, then Dallas can win the division.
I'd say that, like, if you're not gonna go to the playoffs, at least beat Dallas, right?
I mean, I guess, but like, I think we'll see this will be a precursor to what's going to happen in their off season into like whether Ron will stay or go. I think if like they're really lackadaisical about it and they get absolutely rolled, I think Ron is done. He's gone. I think if they play with some fight and they try to go off on a good note, beating their hated arch rival, then
Exactly.
it's like, okay, he's gonna stick around for one more year, one more draft, whatever. So,
Right.
but yeah, dude, I personally wouldn't want to be at the stadium for that game because it's gonna be nothing but Dallas fans, and yeah, it just I think this one hurts the most out of recent years. I'm not a Washington fan, but I feel I bought in a little bit, and this is really
Yeah.
frustrating.
Well, I mean, you've been there. You've been friends with Holden for so long. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Well, dude, I know, and like I'm almost don't want to talk about this team so much, but I almost do because like I mean they went on what? Let's see, one, two, three, oh, wait, well, a three-game win streak, and then another one, two, three-game win streak, and then they tied against the Giants. I mean, this team was almost dead to rights at like 1-4 or like something like that.
yeah.
And
Yeah, 1-4.
And they
yeah,
almost came back in that Giants game had there not been a couple plays that
I
were
mean,
not in their favor.
for me, that game when they hosted the Giants again after the bye week, I was like, I think this is the season. I think this team, like that was their stand, and they didn't make it. And I think that said a lot to me. And maybe I'm wrong, but
No,
Yeah,
so yeah.
I feel for it too. I've been to a couple games this year,
yeah,
courtesy of Holden. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't feel good. I mean, it doesn't feel good, especially when it's the coaching and the ownership that's screwed them, right? They
Yeah.
have good players, they have great defense and receiving core. It was like what was going on in the Niners game. It was a worry because I mean they're top five, top 10 defense, whatever it was.
Hmm.
mm.
Like
And they played upset to Philly too.
And Chase
Yeah.
is coming back, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, it just doesn't feel good.
No, it's just, I mean, hopefully next season will be different for them. But I mean, yeah, no, I think this just it's going to be a long off season, I think. But we'll see. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Let's finish strong here. Big game here. Sunday night football, playoff implications on the line. When is the last time this has been a rivalry or the last time these two teams have had the same record? Lions, Packers in Lambeau.
I think.
Burke
Okay, yeah, yeah.
or
Go ahead, Burke.
Aaron.
No, I want to hear Burke.
Whoever.
I want to hear Burke.
All right.
Do the Lions stand
So
a shot at upsetting here?
so I like this Lions team a lot.
Yeah.
I have the whole season. They have, stand-up guys, Sam Brown. I mean,
Mm,
you see him doing things with the fans, like,
yeah.
Yeah,
being a just a quality guy all around and playing his heart out. I think they take this one because, Rodgers has been kind of, I mean, he's been playing better recently, but, kind of a shell of himself, like you said earlier. Um, and I just think they steal this one, take the playoffs, kick them out, kick the Packers out of the playoffs. I like that story. I'm taking the Lions.
dang.
I do love that
Yeah,
story a lot.
I before you said that, I was just gonna wholeheartedly take Green Bay because for me, like I've really been on this Detroit team too,
Yeah.
and like the biggest issue with this Detroit team is that you can run all over it. AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, like, and the Green Bay O line has been playing a lot better as of recent. Now, granted, I will say that Green Bay scored most of their points on defense and special teams, if I'm not mistaken, against Minnesota last week. So, like, you take those away, that Green Bay offense realistically only scored two touchdowns, only two, but
Only. Yeah.
the way Burke just put it, man, I don't know. I'm a big Dan Campbell guy, man.
I know we all are. And like I felt like this was the year like he was coaching for his season and I'm like
He
or
still
for his
is,
job.
still is.
You think so? I mean, I don't want to say if they end at 8-9 and barely miss the playoffs, or you like, let's give him another year. I don't think you give him the boot because he's shown improvement every year.
That's true. And he like got close enough to sniff the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
you keep a guy like that can rally the guys.
I think it's a good culture, and I think it's a winning culture. And it's just not quite there yet, and maybe with an off season, with a draft, they get there because they've done well in draft picks. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like
Hmm.
he's a stud. Like they're getting there. I want the Lions team to win. My heart is with the Lions, but my head is with the Packers.
See, that's exactly what I was saying.
Dude, because just like I'm like, oh, Lambeau at home, and I don't want to get in conspiracy theories. But I'm like, what does the league want? What does Roger Goodell want?
What are the
Roger Goodell,
narratives?
Aaron Rodgers, coincidence? No.
The
Connect the dots.
NFL script writers are in Sean's head right now.
I mean,
They
I don't
are.
want to be that way, but I almost was like, I'm like, it's like how Tom Brady somehow miraculously, oh yeah, he's in the playoffs, even though with like a losing record and in the worst division in football, of course there's a route for him to play postseason football for ratings. And I'm like, an NFL postseason without Aaron Rodgers, I don't think sells as well than it is with it. So I think they're going to find a way. I
To
think
get
Packers
the
find a way to
oldest
win.
quarterbacks in there. I don't know.
Yeah, and like, I mean, if he's not in it, it only makes me wonder what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. I don't say retire, but I think this year was a struggle for him, and I think it really is that question of, do I want to do this again? Like, was last year
Fair.
fun? Like,
Taking a
so
hot take, Rodgers to the Rams in the offseason if they don't win.
that honestly would be tight. Well, but
That
he's on
would.
contract. He signed a big ass deal.
And what about Stafford? Don't forget about my boy Stafford.
I think Stafford's done, dude. I
Stafford's
think he's
done.
Really?
Yeah,
It's all the injuries, the head injuries. I think it's just all added up too
he's a
much.
family man.
He
He's
got
gotta,
his
gotta stop
ring.
sometime. Yeah.
He can get
Yeah,
out.
I think they sold out for a ring. It was right.
And you know what?
Don't change, Aaron. Don't change.
You know what? I'll ride with my gut, dude. It's Detroit.
Oh, dude, they might burn down the city of Detroit just for making the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie,
Dude. And then
But just the
Wait, the
Packers.
playoffs? I thought that was normal.
Holden is on Green Bay as well.
Dude, he loves Aaron Rodgers just
He
because of his
does.
COVID policies.
He does. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and Holden Tucciarone, anti-COVID
Immunized.
vaxxers. Yeah.
Anti-vaxxers. Oh no.
Print the
Jeez.
shirts. Print the shirts.
Oh my
Print the merch.
gosh.
I love that. All right, well, fellas, those are our picks. We got any
Best
best
bets?
bets?
So I'll do my casual money line parlay here.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Okay, so I'm saying KC, I'm saying Jacksonville, I'm saying Cincinnati, I am saying Buffalo,
Love it.
I am saying Pitt, San Fran, and that's it. Because the other ones are
1, 2,
kind of
3, 4,
wishy-washy.
5, 6 leg parlay, if you will. I love it. I love it. I love it. Burke, you got anything for us while I attempt to look this up in DraftKings?
Yeah, I'll do a 5-way money line.
Whoa, a
Um,
fiver in?
Yeah, I'll take the Niners,
Okay.
the Jags,
Okay.
the Bengals,
The Bengals.
Steelers, and Lions.
Wow.
Nice,
Now that
nice, nice.
that is something right
That might
there.
be a bet breaker at the bottom there, but we're going
I
with
mean,
it.
that's great value. Some would
It
say.
is.
All about the value.
Some might say. We love a good value there. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm plugging in the numbers here. San Fran. Wow, San Fran is minus 1,050.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually insane. What's the last one I was looking for? Pittsburgh? Did I not find Pittsburgh? Did I pass Pittsburgh? Did I pass Pittsburgh here? I did.
It's a 1 p.m. game.
All right, Aaron, yours is going to get plus 457.
Woo.
And then, Burke, what was yours again? You didn't say Chiefs, did you?
No.
He said Jack, Cincy, Buffalo,
San
Pitt.
Fran, Pitt, and Detroit. He didn't pick Buffalo.
Okay, that's fine. San Fran,
I did though.
Pitt, and Detroit. Plus 904. for Burk May's moneyline parlay.
Hey, that's not bad, man.
It's not bad at all. Some are saying at home. May have to follow that or do a little point teaser for that one. I like it. Here's mine. Huge slate this week. Last full slate of the year. You gotta go all out.
Gotta go
After this, the
strong.
lines are gonna get so much tighter. So this is how you gotta get it. I'm taking Raiders plus 9.5. Just too many points. Played them tight before. Jags plus 6. No, they're -6. They're favored. I wrote that down wrong. -6. There's a juggernaut. They're going to handle this easy. Bills -7.5. They're going to come together and just be shot out of a cannon at home against an arch rival. The Steelers -2.5. They're playing for their season against a division rival that they've always had their number on, almost historically. So I'm going to ride with that. Giants plus 14. Niners -14.5. Just because I'm a gremlin. No. And Dallas -7.5 because Washington is dead.
Yep. And Holden's only pick that I got from him was Jacksonville.
Money.
Just Jacksonville?
Just Jacksonville.
That's all he said was Jags.
Jags,
so
baby.
Jags. Dude, what even is
we'll probably get an update on the rest of his...
-250? Nah, I think it's got to be the spread.
Okay.
He's not taking -250. That's way too juiced for that, man. So, well, neato. So get the picks, got the best bets, fellas. Anything for the folks at home?
Pray for the Steelers' playoff hopes.
Yep.
And also pray for DeMar Hamlin.
Yep.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Same for DeMar Hamlin for me, but we're looking for Bosa's franchise sack record. Need 3 sacks, well, 2.5 sacks to make it this week.
Okay, that's doable.
I think
Beating
it really
Alden
is.
Smith's record. Yep.
Dang, that's a name.
Yep.
God, Alden Smith was a beast for sure.
Jeez.
Well, fellas, love you guys. Burk, thanks for coming on the pod again. It's been
Yes.
fun.
It
Great
was a
job.
lot of fun, boys. A lot of fun.
About to do it again
Thanks for
sometime.
having me.
We'll see what happens come playoffs. Maybe
Yes,
we'll all
sir.
be playoff teams. Fingers crossed.
We're hoping.
We're hoping. Yeah. So hope you win all your bets, and I love you.
I love you
We'll be
too.
down too.
Bills by a billion.